Hello, 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 everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? It's Friday night. Oh, yeah, we're gonna party. So, my name's Eve. This is Eve's Creations Paint Party. Let me know if you're painting with me tonight. Popping on a little late, but that's okay. Just a few minutes, so say hello, hello, hello. And we're gonna get this started. So, it's Mama Dragon tonight. You'll be seeing the picture pretty soon. And let's say hi to the Mr. Butters. Oh, yeah. Butters in the house. Say hi, Butters. Say hi to your fam. You're so excited tonight. Say hi, buddy. There you go. Alright, so we have to say hello to Mr. Butters because he might be chiming in later. You never, ever know. Let me cover the weapons of the evening. So, tonight we are going to be using a bigger boy. He is a 1-inch flat. We have a medium-sized fluffy in the house. Any beat-up old bristly brush will do. We have Mini-Me. He looks just like Big Boy, except he's really, really small with a flat edge. And Tiny in the house. Oh, yeah. So, he's for our details. You want to keep these in the water unless we're using them. You want to clean them by swirling, tapping, dabbing on your paper towel. You want to dab in the shape of your bristles and you want them to be wet but not dripping. Okay, so do not clean your brush unless I instruct you to, and when I do, that's a swirl, tap, dab. So I didn't pour my paint yet, but it is always the same colors every single Eve's Creations paint party: black, white, blue, red, and yellow. So say hello, hello, hello if you're painting with me tonight. We're gonna hang out. No worries, guys. I'll lower the music so you guys can hear me. Hey, hey, Cinder. How you doing? Amy in the house. Amy and Becca's here. Oh, yeah. Cinder, is applesauce and cheesecake behaving? Or did they eat something else on you? Amy and Becca in the house. Hi, guys. Hi. Long time no see. Well, sort of see. Hello, hello, hello. So make sure you guys say hello. Let me know if you're painting with anybody tonight. I'm going to put you in your handy dandy holder so you can take a look at our painting. Haha, Cinder's got him outside. All right, Cinder, who knows what they're doing? Hanging out with the squirrels. Hey, Becca. So your mom's listening. She's not painting tonight. All right, Becca, that's cool. How are you, sweetie? How you been doing? They're probably digging in the new mulch. I know my puppy used to like to do that. So, and everybody want to check out where Mr. Butters is. He's in the middle of all the action here. So, you know, I get it with the pets. Kel in the house. Oh, yeah. Hi, Kel. Kelly's here. Whoop, whoop. Oh, yeah. Crystal's here. She has her 4-year-old and 1-year-old who refused to nap today. Oh boy, Crystal. Well, you try your best, hon, but I totally understand. Melissa's here. Hey, Melissa. Thank you so much for that support. And I'm going to send that out to you ASAP. I've been doing all right, Becca. I've been doing all right. So anybody wondering what I'm talking to Melissa about is, you know, I really, really appreciate everybody sending their support. It's always free to watch, and tips are appreciated. I will post that link for you in case you didn't know what it was. As soon as I find it, there it is. And I found these nifty little brushes, right? They're so cool. So whoever sends me a tip or gratuity, sends me some support, I'm going to send you guys these nifty little brushes. They are so awesome. Check out the point on this bad boy. Check out the point. As soon as my camera focuses, you can check out the point. But my camera is focusing on the counter and not the brush. Alright. Well, anyway, they've got there it is. Check out that point, guys, for the details. These things are totally cool. So, whoever sends me any tip or support from this evening, number one, it's greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. Number two, if you message me your address, I am going to send you 2 of these bad boys. Oh, yeah. So I'm going to send you 2 of them. So this way you can have a nifty little brush to do your details. I just think they're cool. I just think they're really cool. Megna's here. Megna, Becca's painting with us tonight, and I lost my pen to do my roll call. Found the pen. I found the pen. So, Megna's in the house. Ruth is chiming in from Puerto Rico. Oh yeah, international, baby. International. That's just the way I like it. Hi, Ruth. Oh, you're so welcome, Melissa's right back at you. Tammy's on board. Hey, Tammy. How you doing? How's you and Julia doing? How's everybody doing? All right. Now I'm going to put you in your handy dandy holder. Alrighty, guys. So here you go. There she is, Mama Dragon. Mama Dragon in the house. So I don't know if you guys noticed all these paintings. Our little duck painting last week and Mama Dragon tonight. Calpana's here. Hey, Calpana. How you doing, sweetie? So, I don't know if anybody noticed that I'm doing the Mother's Day theme here. It's Mother's Day all the way. Oh, yeah. Mother's Day all the way. So, Calpan is here. All right, so I lowered the music, guys. So those of you who like to have the music lower, I lowered the music for you. And here's Mama Dragon. So this is on a 16 by 20 canvas. I'm holding it straight up and down. If you're working on something smaller, then just adjust accordingly. I tell you where to put things by saying like one hand over, two hands up. So as long as you're in the general area of your canvas that I am in, you will be fine. Hey Shannon, how you doing? You didn't know this was coming? Oh, well, here it is. This is coming. This is what it is tonight. Here we go. So, I cannot show you both at once, so if you need a reference shot, take it. And look, I'm getting official, guys. Look at this. I'm going to put this on, and I'm going to wind up not spilling paint. If I wasn't wearing this, I'd be spilling paint everywhere. That's just the way it goes. That's the way it goes. Yes, it is. All right, so there's our handy-dandy little Mama Dragon. And did you guys see what was next Friday? Next Friday, oh yeah. Next Friday in the house. There they are. There's our little mama frog with her two kids. You know, we got the brother and the sister hanging out. So I can totally foresee this being a family opportunity for you guys. That's next Friday. So cute. I can't stand it. I can't stand the cuteness. Can't stand it. So, I'm going to pour my paint, guys. I hope you guys are getting ready, because I'm ready, Freddy Spaghetti. If you're out there painting with me tonight, say hello, hello, hello. Let me know who you're painting with. Alright, guys. Sounds good to me. Sounds good to me. Butters. What's she doing, buddy? Butters is under my feet for some reason. I have no idea why. He just wants to trip me up for some reason. He's like, let me mess up mommy tonight. You don't believe me? Look. Ready? There he is. There's the man. Under the feet. Alright, so pour your paint, people. Red, yellow, black, white, blue. Think about what you want to do. Think about what color you want your dragon. Think about what colors you want your cave to be. Think about what color you want your trees to be. This is your world, guys. You make it your world. I'm just going to show you how to paint it, but you're going to do the creating part. You're going to do the creating part. So, there we go. Sorry about the earthquake. I was putting your plug in. The plug. Alright guys, so I'm going to pour my paint. Hope you guys are ready for Freddy Spaghetti, because I am. Think about what you want to do. What colors you want to do. What colors do you want your dragon? What colors do you want your cave? What's all the colors you guys are picking? Huh? Figure it out. Figure it out. It's your world. It's your world. Hello, hello, hello. All right. Black, blue, red, white, yellow. All right, take your screenshot because we're going to say goodbye to Mama Dragon in a second. Saying goodbye. Hope you guys are ready, Freddy Spaghetti out there. Right, Cal? Well, I went in and I fixed all of my pumps for my yellow paint to behave. So far, so good. I put my apron on. That's why I'm not going to spill anything. And Megna was born ready for our dragon. So this is dragon number 2. All right, here we go, people. The almighty blank canvas. Oh, so scary. It's so scary. The almighty blank canvas. But that's okay, because we're going to hit it with our almighty. Yeah, so I put this on, so now I'm not going to make a mess, Cal. That's the way it works. All right, so let's do this. Swirl, tap, dab, big boy. Swirl, tap, dab, big boy. And figure out what color you want your dragon. Becca's ready. Dragon's going to be red and blue. The cave's going to be normal. The trees are going to be pink and light bluish and yellow. Hello, Kelly. How you doing, sweetheart? How you doing, Kelly? I like that lineup, Becca. I like it a lot. All right, so you're going to grab white, and you're going to grab whatever color you're making your dragon. So mine's going to be purple, so I'm going to grab some red, and I'm going to grab some blue. Just the smallest amount. Don't grab a lot of color at all. You're watching while you're cooking dinner? What's for dinner, Kelly? All right, make sure you pull your paint from the sides so you don't kerplunk in the middle and waste it all. But the smallest amount of color and a lot of white, all right? That's what we're starting off with. And you're going to come right in from the corner of your canvas, and you want to hit about center. Find your center. Let's find our center of our canvas. So you're going to find your center. And we're going to turn around and go shoo, just like that. Salmon. Oh, that sounds delicious, Kelly. So that sounds amazing, Magna. Glory sounds amazing with a rainbow egg. I love it. I like it a lot. All right, so once you go zoom right into the center of your canvas, you're going to turn around. And right here, you're going to make, right here, you're going to go down and up. Just like that. So you want to put a piece right there, down and up, right in there. Don't worry about the shape. Just kind of filling it in for yourself. Just kind of filling it in for yourself. That's all we're doing. And then off of there, you're going to turn around and go swoop right around. We're not stressing this, though. Do not stress this. This should be mostly white and a little bit of color. I'm red, white, and blue. Magna, red, white, and blue. Red, white, and blue. So we're not stretching it. We're not stressing this. Don't stress this at all because we're going to wind up filling in around it and coloring around it. So we're not going to stress the shape at all. We're not going to stress any of this. You're just going to get it in the basic spot that you want it. That's all we're doing. And more white than color. I know I keep saying that because I grabbed too much color and I got not a lot of white. So once you have this for yourself, you're just going to turn around and make that swoop that you did in the center thicker. Okay? You just want to make that thicker. Just make that thicker. That's all. That's all. Okay? Because we're going to be playing with this Mama Dragon a lot, so it's going to get bigger and bigger the more we play with it. Alright, guys? So, no worries. No worries. No worries on this one. No worries on this one. There we go. General shape. That's it. That's all we're worried about. That's all we're worried about. Oh, and I want to remind you guys, this is kid-friendly. Kid-friendly video, so make sure you stick that way in the comments. Okay, so once you have that painted for yourself, you're going to swirl tap that big boy. You're going to swirl tap that big boy. Make sure you have all that color out of them. And you're going to grab a little bit of white and some yellow. So a little bit of white and some yellow. And you're going to go all around your dragon. So just fill this in all around your dragon. That's all you need to do. All around your dragon. That sounds awesome, Becca. So yellow and white. Yellow and white. And we're filling in all around the dragon. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing all the way around. No worries so far, right? Easy peasy. Easy peasy. You're just filling this in all the way around. Don't worry if you wind up going into your dragon shape. Don't worry, you know. Just be careful you don't pick up those colors and wind up getting it in your yellow. So we're just going to fill this in all the way around our dragon. Nice and soft. That sounds awesome, Becca. I'm totally going to check that out. So I'm filling this all in right here. Right? And we're going to do extra because remember when we did the ducks, how easy this winds up being, your yellow winds up being lost. So you're going to just do extra all the way around. Okay. So once you have that, earthquake. Once you have that in, you want to swirl tap that big boy. Actually, grab Fluffy. Grab Fluffy. Alright, so put big boy in the water and grab Fluffy. And when you grab Fluffy, make sure you mash him into the paper towel. So he comes nice and fluffy. So all you're going to do is now you're going to grab your white a little bit, your yellow a little bit, and some blue. Alright, and mash that all together. So you want a lot of blue, a lot of yellow, a lot of blue, a lot of yellow. Oh, Corley! That's right, watch the replays, hon. How you doing, sweetie? Thank you for coming in and saying hi. So a lot of yellow, a lot of blue, and the smallest amount of white. And we're going to mush this. Now, make sure you get the excess paint out of your brush here. Because remember when you guys mushed with the ducks and then you had like way too much paint? And then it wasn't drying for you? So you don't want a lot of paint. And this fluffy guy holds a lot of paint, okay? So you don't want a lot of paint. And we're going to come up here. And you're going to start off in your corner and you're just going to mush. You're just mushing. You're just mushing, 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 mushing. That's all we're doing. And then as you put that on, you want to grab just your blue. Grab just blue with your color that you just made. Grab just blue and you'll get darker pieces. Okay? And then you want to grab, you know, once you smush that out. Once you smush that out. So you've been surviving, and of course, okay, Coralie, as long as you've been surviving, that's all that counts. Once you smush that out, you can grab just your yellow, right, and put just yellow here, right? And you're gonna do the ones where you grab more yellow, and you want to make sure that those are the closest to the dragon. Hi, Kelly. You want to make sure those are closest to the dragon. So when you grab your green color that you just made, and you what I'm talking about is, look, right? What I'm talking about is, look, I'm kerplunking my brush into my yellow, and then I'm going into that color I made. That's what I mean by grab yellow, do your color. Grab blue, do your color. Because as you do this, you're going to get different shades of the color. So when you do the yellow plus the green you made, you want to make sure that's like on the outer edge here. Okay? And then when I said, you know, grab your blue and then your color, right? I'm going to dip in the blue and then my color, and I'm going to put that in. And that's going to make a darker green for me. Right? And then I'm going to grab just my green. I'm going to grab just my green and put that in. Okay? So then that's just a different shade of green. So that's what I mean by playing around with your colors and grabbing this and then grabbing that. That's what I'm talking about. Okay? That's what I'm talking about. I'm dipping it into one and then dipping it into another, and I'm just letting the painting magic happen on my canvas. That's all right, Magna. You know I'll give you guys a minute to catch up, Mustard. Okay. So, you're going to bring these smushies like all the way down to halfway. Just, you know, just in case one of your rocks isn't big enough. So, you're just going to bring these smushies to halfway. So, you look, now I'm grabbing my yellow and a little bit of my green. So, when I do these, they're lighter. They're a lighter color. See that? That's all. Nothing hard here. We're not doing anything hard. We're not doing anything hard. We're just smushing, people. We're just smushing. Grabbing different colors and smushing. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. Okay. So, now we want to do, I'm going to put a little bit on the top part here. And don't worry about going over your dragon shape. It's okay. So I'm going to put some there. And then I'm going to put some here, down here on this part. And like I said, don't worry about going over your dragon shape, because we're going to go over that anyway. So we're going to smush some in there. We're going to smush some in here. Alright, no worries. No worries, see? We didn't worry about that dragon shape at all, because we're going to be painting over it. We're going to be painting over it. That's what we're going to be doing. So now I grab just my blue with that green color. Right? And see how that was darker right here? So you want to play around with that. You want to play around with that, alright? You want to like grab your yellow and then grab a little bit of your green color. And you'll get lighter ones. You grab your blue and a little bit of your green color. You'll get darker ones. And you don't want it, you want to stick and move. Because if you keep mushing on top of it, it's all going to mush together and you're going to lose that difference of colors. Okay, so stick and move. Stick and move. Here, there. right? Grabbing your different colors. No worries. And, you know, you just want to leave it alone. Leave it alone. Hi, Donna. Once you put it on there, leave it alone. And you don't want to be losing all those different pieces of color that you just created. Okay, so once you get it on there, leave it alone. Alright? Got it, get it, good. Alright, so I'll give you guys a chance to catch up mustard. Right, and if you came in late, all we did so far is we found our center. We went shroom with our brush. We turned around and made a heart, a rounded heart around that. And then we just made this piece thicker. And then we took our fluffy brush and we did a bunch of smushing of different colored greens. That's all we did. All we did so far. So take this time to catch up mustard. Hello everybody. I hope everyone's doing well. I got my hair slicked tonight. Oh yeah, slicked back. And the light's off of my 5 head. The light is like beaming off of my 5 head today. That's okay. It is what it is. Alright, so now, and everyone just remember my videos are always kid friendly, so make sure that you watch those comments. My adults, my naughty little adults. Alright. Hi Donna, how you doing? Hello everybody. If you're painting with me, say hello. Say hello. Say hello. And I'll give you guys all a minute to catch up mustard. Wheels is in the house. Hey Samantha. Oh my goodness, Wheels, where you been, hon? Where you been? Where you been, Wheels? Missed you, hon. Hi, Margaret. How you been? How you feeling? Do we need to send you some prayers, hon? All right, everybody. Everybody has to send Samantha. You see Samantha Wheeler on here? Her name is Wheels, and everybody has to send her some prayers, okay? Because she's going through a tough time right now. I miss you, too. All right, so make sure. Well, I'm sending prayers your way, hon. Sending those prayers. All right, and everybody on here, get it, fam. Send those prayers, fam. Send those prayers. All right, guys. Nice, Tracy. Tracy's here. Tracy, you chimed in just in time for prayers. That's right. So we gotta send some love to Wheels on here. We gotta send her some love, all right, guys? So we have Cinder and Becca and Kelly and Crystal and Melissa and Megna and Ruth and Tammy, Kalpana, Shen and Kel. Wheels is here. Coralie, Margaret, and Tracy. Send the love, people. Send the love. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And if I missed you, I'm sorry. Nice, Magna. All right, Cal. Good job. Good job, guys. I love my fam. You guys are awesome. You guys are amazing. Amazing. Yes. Butters, can you move, please? I keep asking Butters to move. He's under my feet. All right, Sharon. That's what I'm talking about. You go, girl. Sharon's here. Kelly on point. Magna's on point. Good job, guys. That's what I'm talking about. We got to stick together. We got to stick together and make sure that we all help each other as a family. That's what I'm talking about. Good job, guys. You all warm my heart, I'm telling you. Wheels, I'm so glad you're here. Alright, so we're going to swirl tap that big boy. We're going to swirl tap that big boy and put our cave in. All right, so you figure out what colors you want in your cave. And this is going to be easy peasy lemon squeezy. You got it, girl. Of course, Wheels. We got you. All right, so I'm going to grab my red. And I'm going to grab my blue. And I'm going to grab my white that doesn't have yellow in it. All right, and I'm going to come over here. And I'm just going to, now you can do this. You can make your rocks any way you want to. The only thing you want to make sure is that you do them at angles, okay? So I'm going to put a line this way coming out from my dragon. I'm going to put a line this way. I'm going to put a line that way. I'm going to put a line this way and a line this way. Now, these lines are just guides, okay? So you're going to paint right over them, but they're just guides. So you know when you put your rocks in, you're going to be pointing that way, all right? That's all those are. So I'm going to grab my red and my blue again and my white. And I'm going to start down here. And I'm just going to turn around and put like a little square in for myself. Just going to put in a little square for myself here. Right? Nothing too crazy, just a little square. Just a little square right there, that's all. Alright, now I'm not going to match the rocks that I made. Every time I make rocks, it's just like trees. I have no idea like what's happening or what's going to go on. So you don't have to match exactly what I'm doing. You know, you just want to, I just want to show you how to do it, and then you guys can do your rocks any way you want to for your cave, okay guys? So don't worry about it, right? And then I'm going to turn around and grab just blue and white. So I'm going to make a big old mess between my red, blue, and my white, just making all different colors and tones of different things. So I'm just going to grab, I didn't clean my brush, and I'm just grabbing some blue and white now. I'm going to grab some blue and white, and I'm going to put like an odd little shape here. So, I don't know, let's do like a square with a triangle in it. Right? Just an odd little shape. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just putting a square with a triangle in it. And I'm going to grab some more white paint, because I want this to be lighter. Alright, so I'm just making some sort of like weird square, and I'm going to put a little triangle top on it. Right? I'm not too worried about these. Not too worried about these shapes. Just something different. Just make sure they're on the pointy side. Alright, so we're going to have that weird shape right there. Why not, right? Why not? Okay, so we're going to have that going on, and let's say over here I put another little like weird little triangle thing going on here. Right, so I'm not stressing this, but I want these top parts to be a light color. So you want to add white to whatever color you're making these, okay? So whatever color you decide to make these, just make sure you're adding white, because these are like all the tops. These are all the tops. So I don't know what I just made. I just made some weird triangle thing with a flat edge. Something. Just make some sort of shape. Doesn't really matter. Now I'm going to grab my red. And I'm going to grab my white. I'm going to grab a little bit of blue. Big old mess on my brush. That's what we want. A big old mess on the brush. We're not worrying about nothing. We just want a mess. And then I'm going to go swoop right down over here. Alright, so I'm going swoop. Just making something right here. That's all I'm doing. Just making some sort of shape right there. Right? And I went over that other rock. I went over that other rock right there. See, I went over it. No big deal. And you want these shapes to be lighter, okay? So I just grabbed white paint and I'm making the color lighter for myself. Right, and I just went over that other rock. We don't care. We don't care. And let's say right here or something. Right, let's put a little angled something here. Okay, so we're going to put this one in, and he's going to be behind the other guy. So let's put something right here. It don't matter. It don't matter. So there's another shape. Hi, Joy. How you doing, sweetheart? Yeah, my allergies are just kicking. That's why. They're kicking, boy. I have really, really, really bad allergies. So, not necessarily tired. Just got the nasally thing going on. Kind of makes you run down a little bit. That's all right. I feel okay. I just had to take my allergy medicine. So I'm going to put another square thing over here somewhere. All right? I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about my shapes at all. Just whatever. Just whatever. Maybe put a funky little triangle part to it. Why not? Why not? Right? So you're just going to fill in all these little shapes. All these little shapes. That's all you're doing. All these weird little shapes. Okay. And then I'm going to come down in here. So then I'm going to come down. Let's put one right here. Let's put like a square right there. Right, just to finish off the edge of the canvas there. Alright, we're just going to put like a little rectangle thing right there. Alright, and then I'm going to grab my blue and my white. And I'm going to come over here and I'm going to put like a little piece of something going on over here. Right, just to go off the canvas. Just to go off the canvas. That's all I'm worried about. I want to fill that space in. So I just grabbed blue and some white. Now I didn't clean my brush yet. I'm letting the magic happen. I'm letting the magic happen. I didn't clean the brush yet. So I'm just seeing what comes out. I'm just letting the magic happen. Alright. And then I'm going to grab some blue and some white. Still dirty brush. Grabbing blue and white. Still have this dirty brush going on. And I'm going to come in here and I'm going to put another little square thing. Right? I'm going to put another little square thing right in here. And let's give it a weird edge. There, we just gave it a weird edge. Okay. So, once you have those like filled in, right, let's put another weird edge right here, right? And I'm going to follow that angle, right? So I'm going to put another little weird edge right there. Right? And I'm going to go right off my canvas with it. Right? Making sure I follow that little angle, those little angle lines I made for myself. So let's put that like there. Okay. And I'm going to put one right here. So this one you have to pay attention to. You want to make sure you're making a spot for your egg. So my egg is going to go right here. So I'm going to move down a little bit. I'm going to move down a little bit and put an edge up like that. Alright, I'm going to put an edge up like that. Like a half a triangle. Okay, so this is the only one you gotta like make sure you leave a space for your egg, okay? So I'm gonna put a half triangle that way, and I'm gonna grab more blue. I'm gonna grab some blue, and I'm gonna grab some red on my dirty brush here. And I'm gonna come down the other side with a darker color. Okay, so that's filled in right there. Then I'm going to take that darker color and I'm going to come up to these rocks that I made before, right? So now we're going to switch to having a darker color on our brush. So just grab your colors without grabbing any white. Okay, and I'm going to come over here, right? See this part over here where I made these squares? So now I'm just going to go shwoom, shwoom, and fill this in. So I matched it up to that square, and I just put darker piece coming off of that. It don't matter. So I just filled in a darker piece right there, that's all. Alright, so now you want to make these shapes and stuff, and you want to make them darker because they're on the inside part of the cave, okay guys? So you just want to make them darker. And you want to connect some to the squares you already made so it looks like pieces of rock. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab that darker color again. And this weird one that I made, I'm going to swoop and swoop here. And make that like it's the side of this one. So I'm going to make this like it's the side of that weird shape that I made. And then I'm going to come over to the other side. I'm going to come over to the other side of it here. And I'm going to go straight down. Swoop. So that looks like that side. And all I did was add a little bit of white to that dark color. So you guys can play around doing this and make all these nifty little shapes and rocks and whatnot. And you just want to change your colors. Like have one that's really dark, have a side that's a little lighter, and have the top part be the lightest piece. Okay, so that's how you're going to do these. Hey Sam, how you doing? So that's how you're going to do these, all right? So I'm going to wipe off my brush. I'll show you another one. So I'll show you with this one, okay? So I'm grabbing just blue and red. I'm making sure it's nice and dark, just blue and red. And I'm going to come over here. And I'm going to go swoop, straight down. And I'm going to go across this shape. And I'm going to fill in here this really dark, dark, dark color. Okay. And then I'm going to grab a little bit of white. So this way it's still dark, but I'm grabbing a little bit of white so it's this, you know, it's still dark, but it's lighter than that one I just made. And I'm going to go swoop straight down to this one and make this edge. Okay, and then just like that, you made this look like one big piece of rock. Okay, so no worries here. You're just filling in these sides and doing these little things and making all this fun stuff happen. And you know, just change your colors here and there of all the different parts that you do. And we're not going to stress it because it's just rocks in a cave. Not going to stress that at all. And if you want to make different colored rocks, just use a different color combination. That's all. If you're not going to do the purple, if you want to do something else, then just grab different colors of something else. That's all you need to do. Alright guys. And then I'm going to turn around and I'm going to connect this piece up over here. Okay, so I'm going to put some darker right there. And I'm going to grab some red and some blue and some white. I'm going to come over here. Let me drop this down. Drop this down. Right? Make the side of this rock here. And these don't have to be straight or perfect. They don't have to be straight or perfect at all. Doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. You're just dropping some sides in. That's all you're doing. You're just making all these funky little shapes. And you just want to make sure that you're doing darker colors in here. That's all you want to make sure of. So I'm going to bring that down to there. All you want to make sure of is that you're doing darker colors in there. Now I'm going to come over here. And I'm going to cut this one. Like that. And you got to make those swoop sounds. If you don't make those swoop sounds, it doesn't work. So when you're cutting these in, you got to go swoop, swoop. Because if you don't make those sounds, it's not going to work. It's not going to work if you don't make those sounds. Okay? And this is all you're doing. You're just making these random lines. It's very random. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So you're just making these random lines. And I'm just going to come up over here and I'm just going to make that edge a little bit better. So I'm just making this edge a little bit better. And if you want the separation of color on the surface of your rocks, if you want like the streaks, you just stop painting over it. You just let the brush do its magic and stop painting over it. If you like it blended, you keep painting. You keep painting over it. Okay? And then, so I'm going to add a dark one here. Alright, so this is no worries, guys. You're just adding dark shapes into here now. And, you know, like connect some of the lines to the corners of the lighter shapes that you made. Okay, so connect some of the lines to the corners of the lighter shades that you made. That's all. That's all you're doing. Putting these random colors in random places. That's it. So I'm going to do something else over here. I'm just going to grab some more red paint. And I'm going to put a totally different color going on over here. I don't know what's going on. I'm just filling in these different colors. That's it. I'm just filling in different colors in these spaces. Because it's just random rocks hanging out in this cave. And I don't know. I don't know what's the top, what's the bottom. I'm not worried about it. As long as you do everything at an angle, you'll be fine. So we're not stressing it. We're not stressing it at all. I'm going to put another one like here with that reddish color because, you know, I'm just balancing it out a little bit. And you know me in red, so this kind of has like a reddish color to it. So I kind of like it. I kind of like this magic that's happening on my brush right now. So just dip your brush into different colors and then make all these angled pieces. That's all you need to do. That's all you need to do. And you're just going to fill in this whole section with all these different angled pieces. That's it. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it, guys. Not that hard. Not that hard. And if you messed up some of your lighter parts, then grab your white and fix them. Okay, so I kind of went over. Of course, I didn't color in the lines. I never do. So I'm going to come in here and put I'm going to fix this because I kind of went over my lines with the dark. So I'm just going to fix it. And then you see how the brush is making all this separation of colors right here? If you like it, leave it alone. Don't keep brushing over it, because if you keep brushing over it, you're going to lose it. You're going to lose it. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. So if you like that separation of colors, you just put it on there and keep it moving. Just put it on there and keep it moving. Okay, so that's all you need to do. That's all you need to do. And I'm going to come over here and I'm going to put this one in better. I'm going to put this one in better. So I'm going to come over here and schmooze the top of this one. So you can schmooze back and forth. Do a little schmoozing, right? Add in your light squares, your dark squares. Get a little funky with your shapes. It's all good. And you're going to fill this all in. And when you're left Now you're going to be left with like these random little small dark spots. We're going to take our mini-me and fill that in with black. Alright, so once you fill all these in with all these weird random shapes and whatever and whatnots, whatever you're doing, doesn't really matter. Okay, you're just filling in all these little shapes and angles and different things going on. Then you're going to take your small brush, you're going to take your mini-me, and I'm going to grab some blue and some black together. So, and then I'm going to come in here and fill in all these small little spaces with the black. Okay, and I just grabbed blue and black together just to give it a little something, something. This way it wasn't like completely black, but whatever you need to do. So all those little spaces you have left over, you're just going to take your small brush and fill them in with the darkest color you could possibly make. If it's going to be just black, that's fine. If you want to add a little color to your black, you can do that. You know, whatever you want to do to make a really dark, whoop, fumble! Drop my brush, people. And I got paint everywhere because it went into the thing. Becca's on point. Becca's always on point. Paint your sides, Becca. Paint your sides. Because I know there's some people out there still playing with their rocks. So you got to give... I didn't even get done with my rocks yet. So you got to give us all a minute. Got to give us a minute to get to the dragon. And the fact that I just splattered paint everywhere on the floor. Of course, it didn't hit me because I'm wearing my apron. But it hit the floor. But that's okay. What else is new? So I'm just taking my small brush and I'm just filling in all these spaces with the black paint now. Any of these little spaces that I didn't fill in with a shape that are still left, I'm going to fill all these in with the black paint. Becca, we all know that you paint super, super fast. So, too bad you can't go over Megna's house and help her. Or you go over Cinder's house and help her. Because Cinder likes to put glitter on everything. So, you got to go help Cinder out. Becca, you took care of the sides already? Alright, that's cool. That's cool. Okay, and I went completely out of my line, so I am just making some dark little square right there. I went completely out of my lines, and it's okay. Just filling it in with a dark square. Doesn't have to be anything perfect. So if you go over your lines or out of your lines, you're fine. No worries. Just make it into a square or a triangle or some sort of shape that has maybe a square triangle going on at the same time. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what shape you do. As long as it has angles to it. That's all that matters. As long as it has angles to it. You are good to go. You are good to go. Alright. So, I'm going to fill that in. I'm going to swirl tap that. Yes! Butters is barking! Haha, you can totally talk about Wings of Fire. Megna loves Wings of Fire. Crystal in the house! Nice, Crystal! So you stepped away for a minute and your 1-year-old's helping you paint. That's okay, because it probably looks like my floor right now from when I dropped the paintbrush. So when the paintbrush fell out of my hand, it literally fell into a different color, ricocheted off of my table, went onto the floor, and made little paint deposits all over my floor of red paint. So I'm going to clean that up while you guys are ketchup mustering. And Becca's going to keep everybody entertained talking about Wings of Fire. Right, Becca? So, Crystal, you're not the only one cleaning up paint. You You're not the only one cleaning up paint, sweetheart. There we go. So that's what happens. We totally are okay with that. We're totally fine with that. Alright, so I'm going to give you guys a minute to catch up mustard. And the only thing you want to make sure is you have this little triangle rock right there. Wow, Magna, that sounds amazing. That book sounds awesome. That sounds really, really, really awesome. That sounds totally cool. Sounds good to me, Becca. You and Magna love glory and all that, so sounds amazing to me. And while you guys catch up mustard, I'm going to do roll call. So we got Cinder in the house. Becca is here. Kelly, Crystal, Melissa. Crystal cleaning up after her 1-year-old. Megna, my girl. Ruth from Puerto Rico. Tammy was just hanging out with us. Calpan is here. Shannon and Kel. Wheels is in the house. All right, Wheels. Coralie just popped in to say hi. And we got Margaret and Tracy and Sharon. Oh, Kel, that sounds amazing. Sounds like a fun project, but I'm sure you had paint everywhere. It's not fun unless you get paint in random places. Alright, so the only thing I want you guys to make sure of is you have like a little nook to put your egg in. Okay, so you want to make sure you do the triangle rock. Alright, and if you missed me doing the triangle rock, I'll paint it again so you can see it. I'll paint it again so you can see it. So you want to make sure that in the center, right underneath the dragon's nose, right here, you turn around and you put in a triangle rock. Okay? That's what you want to make sure you do. So right underneath the dragon's nose, right here, make sure you put in, that's one side of it. Okay, that's the one side. And then I'm going to grab some blue and some white, and I'm going to do the other side. So make sure, no matter what you did with all the other ones, make sure you have the triangle rock right on the bottom, right underneath your dragon's nose. Oh, I love not Wizard of Oz. I loved Alice in Wonderland. I love the movies because I really like Johnny Depp. So, and I love when the lady goes, "Give me a warm pig here." I love that part. All right, so once you're done with that, you're gonna swirl tap that big boy. You're gonna swirl tap that big boy. Alright, and we're going to go back up to where our green is. So you want to make sure Big Boy is really, really clean. All of those dark colors are out of them. Okay, so you want to do lots of swirling. The more you swirl, the cleaner it'll get. So swirl, 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 swirl. Oh, geez, Magna. That sounds like a big old mess. Not Magna, Becca. I'm getting you too confused now. So you want to make sure Big Boy is nice and clean. Clean, 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 clean. And what you're going to do is, now everybody has to pay attention. Alright guys, so I cleaned Big Boy really, really nice. And you want to grab some clean white. And you're going to grab the smallest amount. Make sure you have a nice fine edge on that, okay? So you're going to grab some white and then you're going to wipe it off, right? So you're going to grab some white and then you're going to wipe it off. Make sure you have hardly any white on that brush. See, guys? Hardly any white at all. And what I want you to do is you're going to go from this spot right here. Let me lift the thing up. So this spot right here. Okay, so that's the spot you want to like kind of keep in your brain right there. And you're going to take your brush and you're going to hold it so it's vertical, straight up and down. And then you're going to move away from that spot at an angle. Okay, see how I'm angling my brush? So what you want to do is you start at that spot, move at an angle, doesn't matter which angle you do. And you're going to go into your green and you're going to just pull. Okay, so you're just going to pull. So you get these little rays coming through. Okay? And then you're going to grab a little bit of white paint again, the smallest amount of white, wipe it off. And then you can come down and you do another one coming out at an angle. Okay, so you want to make sure that all your angles are kind of going to that one point though, all right? So I'm going to grab some more white paint. I'm going to wipe it off. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to do, why not, right? Let's do one point and up. It's not in the original, but why not, right? So I'm making sure I'm going from this spot over here. So I'm just going to put some white lines pointing upwards. Okay? And then I'm going to come over here and put these in. Very small amount of paint. Smallest amount of paint possible. I'll come over here. I'm going to put one here. Alright, so I didn't grab any more paint and I'm just pulling with my brush. Notice, nice straight pulls. Move your hand, not the brush. Very small amount of paint. The smallest amount of paint possible. Let's go over here. Let's put another one here. Why not? Okay? The smallest amount of paint possible. Alright, once you have that, you're going to wipe off your brush. You're going to swirl, tap, dab your brush. Swirl, tap, dab your brush. And you're going to grab just yellow now. You're going to grab just yellow. So you put yellow on your brush and then wipe it off. And go back to that first ray you did. And same thing, hold your brush so it's nice and flat up against the canvas, straight on, and you're just going to move your hand, not the brush. And you're going to just take that yellow now, and you're going to go over those white stripes. And that's how you get your sun rays, people. Okay, so that's how you get your sun rays. Right? So, again, over here, I'm just going to pull, moving my hand, not the brush, small amount of paint. Okay, come over here. Come over here. So move your brush, not the paint. Make sure it's a very small amount of paint on your brush. Okay, guys? All right, come over here. So I'm grabbing a tiniest amount of yellow, I'm wiping it off, and then I'm coming back in and I'm putting these rays in. And it's a light touch. I'm moving my hand, not the brush, to make sure my lines are extremely straight. They have to be straight. Alright, I'm holding the brush straight up against my canvas here. Straight up against it. And I'm just putting those in. Right? And that's how you do your sun rays. How fun is that, right? That was easy peasy lemon squeezy, right, everybody? It's all about having the smallest amount of paint on your brush. Tiny, 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 tiny amount. Okay, now I want you to grab Mini-Me. I want you to grab Mini-Me. We're grabbing Mini-Me, people. Oh yeah, grabbing the Mini-Me. And I'm going to go into clean white paint. And I'm going to come over here to where that triangle rock was that I made. And I'm going to go, right, so find a spot on your triangle rock, and I'm going to go and swoop this right around. Swoop that right around. And then you're just going to color it in. You're just going to color it in. So I just swooped right around. I started from one side of the triangle rock. Okay, and I'm going to turn around and do my edges. So I stay in my lines. Okay, so I'm going to do my edges so I stay in the lines here. And you just fill that in. Oh, your sun rays? Your sun rays? You don't like your sun rays, Cinder? That's okay. That's okay. You can, we're going to add some, you could, just leave them alone for now. Just leave them alone for now. You're going to get the opportunity to, schmooze them, alright, sweetie? So just leave them alone till now. Okay? Just don't even, stop playing with them. Stop playing with them. It's a little tricky, but as long as you have hardly any paint on your brush, it should work out okay for you. And if they don't, it's alright. You'll have an opportunity to schmooze them. Okay? Yes, glitterize it, baby. You got it, girl. Alright, that's what spit's for. I went out of my egg line here. Okay, so now you're going to swirl tap that Fluffy. You're going to swirl tap that Fluffy. Okay, and this is your chance to schmooze, Cinder. So I'm going to grab my yellow paint. I'm going to dab, 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 so there's not much on my paintbrush at all. And I'm going to go around to all the green that's around this yellow right here. And I'm going to smush yellow into all that green. Okay, so I'm smushing yellow on top of that green. Okay, so a little bit of yellow paint, smash it into your brush. And you're going to smush yellow onto this green right here. Okay, go in and out of your yellow. It don't matter. It don't matter. You can go in and out of your yellow, make your yellow part of this brighter if you want to. Right? Turn around and make the yellow brighter around the dragon if you want to. I'm just grabbing yellow paint and I'm just smushing around. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. All I'm doing. So if you want to make your yellow even brighter around the dragon, and then you want to make sure you smush onto your green. Alright, just scribbling and smushing. I'm not really worried about it. All around where the yellow sky is. This is exactly what we did with the ducks. That's right, Wheels, right? Cinder should totally glitterize. So this is exactly what we did with the ducks, making our green look like sunlight's coming through it. And then once you do that, here's your chance, Cinder. This is where you can mess up anything. Becca, that sounds amazing. Doing a sea wing mother-father, so the egg is a hybrid. I love it. All right, so now you can grab your blue and your yellow. You grab your blue and your yellow, and you're going to go where your sun rays are, and you're going to do a little smush smush around those sun rays. So, if you messed up your sun rays, you turn around and cover them up if you want to. You can turn around and cover them up if you want to. So I'm grabbing my yellow and I'm grabbing my blue. And wherever those sun rays were peeking out, I'm going with the yellow and the blue and adding this dark greenery around it. So, that's what I'm going to do. Becca, you can make a dragon flying in the background or something. So I'm just smushing the green where these sun rays were to connect them. So if you want to smush your sun rays right back out again, if you didn't like them, you totally can. You digging this, Kelly? It's pretty cool, right? Pretty darn cool. I can't wait to see everybody's finished painting when you guys. So I already put the spot to post it to the event page. So you guys can post it to the event page, okay, guys? So when you're done, I want to see all your amazing dragons. I want to see all your amazing dragons once you're done. Okay. Alright. So, ketchup, mustard a little bit, and then now we're going to do all dragon, guys. We're going to add details. We're going to turn around and do all the fun stuff. We got the background all done, and we're going to turn around and do all the dragon parts now. So you're going to swirl tap that big boy. Once you're done mushing, how's everybody doing? I'm going to roll call. How's everybody doing? We have Cinder and Becca and Kelly and Crystal, Melissa. Crystal, I hope you're back to painting and not cleaning. And Megna is here, of course, and Ruth from Puerto Rico. Tammy popped in to say hi. Coralie popped in to say hi. And we have Kalpana and Shannon and Kel is here. And Wheels is in the house. I'm so happy you're here. And Margaret and Tracy and Sharon. If I missed you, let me know. Let me know if anyone's painting with you. All of that good stuff. Becca's doing great. Kelly, the salmon's ready? All right. That's good. Alright, so swirl tap that big boy and whatever colors you're doing your dragon. So I'm going to turn around. I'm going to grab some white. Look how messy my palette is. That's so cool, right? So I'm going to grab some white, and I'm going to grab some red, and I'm going to grab some blue. And I got all that mixture of color on there. Oh, that's okay. I'm a disaster in life. I always make messes. Alright, so I got all these colors on there. And I'm going to go back to where we did this piece. Alright, because you know you mushed over it with your greens and everything else. So I'm just going to turn around and I'm going to swoop that back in. Now if you want the separation of color, let the brush do its magic. And just leave it alone. Leave it alone. Don't keep brushing over it. If you keep brushing over it, if you like the blended look, then you keep brushing over it to blend them all together. So it is personal preference, whatever you want to do. And you're adding that little bit of white to your color so it covers over the green part. So we're swooping this back in. We're swooping this back in. Swooping back in her neck. Okay? Oh boy, Crystal. All right, well, you try your best, hon. Okay, so now that once we have the neck done, we're going to turn around and I'm going to grab my red and my blue and my white. And I'm actually going to mix all this together because I want the dragon face to be one solid color. I don't want all the separation of color in it like the neck. So I'm going to come back in. I'm going to fix my shape of my dragon head. So this part swoops around. Swoop, like that. Okay? And then you want to turn around and you want to put a bigger cheek area right there. Okay, so you're going to swoop this part up and around. And then when you come down to this side, you're going to put a bigger cheek. Bigger cheek right there. Okay, and then just color it in. You're just going to color it in. You know, give yourself some nice definite lines. Use the flat of that brush. Use the flat of that brush. Make sure you follow your lines good. Fill them in just the way you want them. Do, 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 do. Yes. Making dragons, baby. Making dragons. Don't forget the extra little cheek part. Okay. Use the flat of that brush to swoop this around. Give yourself a nice line. Alright, and if you notice, I'm holding the brush like a pencil. I'm holding it like a pencil. And I'm just smushing it onto this canvas. Making sure I get a nice crisp line there. Okay. So, once you have that, you're going to turn around and you're going to grab your color. And you're going to grab extra white with your color. So whatever color you made your dragon, you're just going to grab some extra white with it. And you're going to go to the top of the head. And right here, where your neck and your head meet, you're going to go straight off the canvas. And then you're gonna put your brush flat and pull down. Okay? And then once you do that, you're going to turn around, take your brush, and do these little scoops like this. And do these little scoops. And when you do those little scoops, you'll get like the separation of color in her horns. Now if you keep going over them, again, you're going to blend them out. So it's up to you. It's your preference. If you like the separation of color, you'll leave it alone. If you like it being one solid color, then you keep going over it. So you're going to swoop that one in. And then you're going to come over and on the other side of her head, so you're going to follow this to the other side. So here's the cheek, and you're going to go right up in this area. And you're going to hold your brush long ways. And you're going to swoop one out that way. And then you can turn your brush and make it thicker. And then you're going to do all these little swooping motions to get the separations of color. Like I said, that's up to you. If you want it one solid color, you keep brushing over it. If you like the separation of color, you put it on, you leave it alone. And then you just want to look to make sure like it's evened up the way it should be. So You know, if you have to add a little bit more to that horn, then that's what you do. Whatever you need to do. It's all good. Now I'm going to swirl tap dab my brush. Swirl tap dab my brush. And I'm going to turn around and I'm going to grab some, because I just wanted to get the globs at it. That's all right, Becca. You just paint over it and then wait until I tell you how to do it. That's all. Okay, so now I'm going to grab my my purple colors again. Grab my purple colors again. And you can either go darker or lighter with this. Depends on what you want to do. I'm going to go darker. So I'm going to make sure I'm using a really dark purple now. And right underneath this horn, I'm going to turn around and put my brush underneath this horn. I'm going to pull out past the face, and then I'm going to pull down. Okay, make the other horn. And pull down. Okay? So I'm pulling out like this, keeping the brush flat like that. And then I'm just going to change the direction of my hand and pull down. Okay? And then holding it like a pencil, again, like a pencil, getting some more paint. I'm going to come over to the other side. And this is going to be a little tighter of a curve because this is the other side of her head is kind of facing away from us. So I'm just going to pull up a little. I'm going to find that same spot under my horn. And I'm just going to pull up a little bit and then pull down. Just a little bit and then pull down. Okay, and don't worry about making it pointy. We'll use the small brush for that. Okay? And speaking of small brush, why don't you grab your small brush? So put big boy away in the water, and let's grab tiny. Let's grab our tiny. And I'm going to grab that purple paint that I did before, and I'm going to come over to these ones that I made. And I'm going to give them their point, holding it like a pencil, guys. That's it. And just turning around and giving this a point. Just giving that a point right there. Just making that into a point right there. And I'm going to come over here and maybe I have to schmooze a little. So I'm going to schmooze a little with my smaller brush. It's okay. It's all good. Schmoozing is fine. You can totally schmooze. And then I'm going to come to where they connect to the head and I'm going to give that a little swoop. So, a nice fixed little swoop right there. Okay, so I'm going to do a little swoop on that part. And then I'm going to do a little swoop where this one connects to the head. Swoop. Just like that. Okay. Swooping that all together here. Maybe I have to fill in some parts of it. That's fine. You know, you just want to schmooze your horn. And this one has a smaller piece till you get to the bend. So this is smaller on that part. And then you're going to drop it right down the side of her face. Okay? Right down the side of her face. Just like that. We're dropping in some horns, baby. Oh, yeah. Don't want to get this mommy mad. That's for sure. Don't want to get her mad. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to make it nice and pointy for myself with the small brush. Using that small brush. Get it nice and pointy. Okay, and if you want to get a nice line, you move your hand, not the brush. Okay. Fill this in. for myself. That's what these small brushes are for, guys. It's for the details. So if you can't do something with the larger brush, that's fine. You just grab the smaller brush. That's what they're for. And if any of you guys want to send me a tip for my services, because you know I keep it always free to watch, but you know art supplies aren't free. So if you can, I am turning around and sending those tiny little brushes out. I'm going to send you 2 of those tiny little brushes for leaving me a tip. So don't forget, you just have to message me your address. That's all. Okay, so I'm going to wipe off my tiny brush. And I'm going to turn around and I'm going to grab some white with my purple color. Right? I'm going to make it lighter purple now. So I'm grabbing some white with my purple color. And I'm going to go up to where her neck is. And so you want to follow this line, right? So follow this line. So you have this line going through the center of your horns, and then onto the neck area. So you want to follow this line, this arching line. Remember the first stroke we did, that arching line? That's what you want to follow. So you're going to follow that all the way up through her horns, and you're going to put 1, 2, 3. And then that's where the spikes are going to go. That's where the spikes are going to go. So you want to follow this line all the way up through the horns, and then put the bottoms of your spikes in. However many spikes you want to give her. It's your dragon. It doesn't matter to me. And then I'm just going to arch these up and back down like a little, like a shark tooth. That's exactly what it's like, Eve. A shark tooth. Exactly what it's like. So, come on up. Come on down. This one you can't see. It's off the canvas, but same idea. Alright, so we're going to give her little shark tooth spikes going on. Oh yeah, some shark tooth spikes. That's what I'm talking about. Like I said, you don't want to get this mama dragon mad, that's for sure. That's for sure. You better eat all your vegetables. That's all I'm saying. You better clean your room, too. Better clean your room. Crystal! Oh, okay, Crystal. Nice, Becca. I like it. I like it a lot. You have fun with this dragon. Do it all sorts of ways. You know I love it when you create. All right, Crystal. Well, you have a good night. Babies are wreaking havoc. They're wreaking havoc. All right, so I'm just cleaning off my brush, getting rid of all the globs. And since I'm working with that lighter purple, now you can just, you know, whatever color you made your dragon, you're just adding white to your color to make it lighter, that's all. Okay, and then down here, we're going to put the 2 nostrils. So again, you want to follow that invisible line. You're going to put a nostril on this side and a nostril on this side. Okay, and this nostril is going to be closer to the side of her face than this one. Alright, so you want to put those in. And then I'm going to grab some more of my lighter colored paint. And to help me out, I'm going to put the dashes in. Now again, you're following that arched line. So dashes are going in. And I want to follow that line all the way up her face. So it's going to start, the dashes are going to start to bend after a while. It's going to be a little bend in them. So we're going to put those dashes in. So now you know exactly where your eyes are going to be. Okay? So, swirl, tap, dab your brush and grab that darker purple. Going to grab that darker purple, a darker color purple. And I'm going to go in between here. So we're going to start at a point and do a swoop. All right. Then I'm going to grab the darker purple and go from this side. Okay, swoop from there. And you do both sides at once. So this way, so this eye is a little bit bigger. And this eye is going to be a little bit smaller. And once you have that piece in, you can swoop the bottom part in. Swoop the bottom part in there. Okay, and this eye is going to be a little bit bigger than the one that's on this side, so that's totally okay. And the reason we did it in the purple is because if you have to fix it or schmooze it, you can totally do that. Now I'm just going to grab my white paint with my purple, and I'm going to turn around and do these smush circles along the top of her eye. So I'm just doing smushy circles. That's all I'm doing. And then I'm going to do smush circles on the top of this eye. So, if you need to fix the shape or fix something that you did, no worries. No worries. So we just do smush circles on top of that eye. So this way, you know, if you didn't do, when you drew your eye shape in and it didn't really work out too well for you, as you do these, you could cover it up. You can cover it up, you can fix the shape, you can do your angle a little bit better. It's all up to you. It's all up to you, okay? And then underneath is going to be the dots. So as you're adding these details, like I said, if you kind of messed up your eye line, don't worry about it. When you add these smush circles and these dots, you can fix it a little bit better and you can cover it up, whatever you need to do. So now I'm just going to add the dots on the bottom. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. How many ever dots you need, right? And then the dots on this side. Now these dots are going to be a little closer together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So those dots are going to be a little closer together because that's the eye that's on this side of her face. So if they look crooked or they don't look like they're the same size, they're not supposed to be. The eye on this side is supposed to be bigger than the eye on this side. Okay? So it's all good. And your circles, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? So that's how you fix your eyeballs if your eyeballs didn't come out exactly the way you wanted them to. Now let's swirl tap dab my brush. And I'm going to grab my darker purple. I'm going to grab the dark purple now. And I'm going to come in here and I'm going to put a nostril in. Just scribble circle. That's all I'm doing is a scribble circle. If you notice, I'm just scribbling my brush. Scribble circle there. And then I'm going to come up over here and I'm going to put a dark outline where these horns are. So if you didn't have that swoop just the way you wanted it to, now when you put this outline in, you could fix it. Make it a better swoopy swoop if you need to. It's all good. It's all good. After I'm done with that, I'll swirl tap dab my brush. I'll swirl tap dab my small brush. And I have to get clean white paint. I have to get the clean white paint. So I'm going to grab some clean white paint. Because I was out of clean white paint. Hey Joyce, how you doing, sweetie? So I'm going to take that and I'm going to go into my eye. And you're going to do an oval, but the top of the oval is hidden under the lid. So you want to do like almost like a U shape. Like that. Okay? And then the same with the one on this side. Okay, so you want to do like a U shape. And then you can fill that in. You fill that in. And I'm just following the shape of the circle on the top, for the top part of the eyeball. For now, because we're going to go back in and do these a little more dramatic. So once you fill that in, you can pick whatever color eyes you want. I'm going with blue. So I'm going to grab my blue paint now, and I'm going to just paint right into the top of that white. That's all I'm going to do. And again, I'm just doing a scribble circle. I'm going to do a scribble circle over here. So all I did was grab my blue paint. I don't know what color eyes you guys are doing. Anybody want to tell me what color eyes you're doing? I'm totally curious. I totally want to know. Okay, so we're going to scribble circle that. And wipe off your brush, put it in the water, and then we're going to grab, you want to do another layer. Joy, you're doing good? Awesome. So you want to put another layer of white on your egg. Or if you're going to color your egg different colors right now, because my egg is actually yellow and white, so I'm going to grab my white. Nice, Becca. I love that you're doing teal eyes. So I'm going to grab some white and the smallest amount of yellow. So whatever color you're doing your eggs. Okay, so I grabbed the smallest amount of yellow with white paint. And I'm going to come in here and put my last layer of color on my egg. And I'm using Mini-Me. We're using Mini-Me. It's all we're doing. So a small flat brush. So whatever colors you're making your egg, go for it. I can't wait. I know the girls, I know Magna and Becca are getting really creative with their egg colors. So can't wait to see those. Can't wait to see those. Becca with her hybrid egg. So we're just turn around and do your coat on your egg. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So all we have left is to do the details of the eyes and the crack on the egg and our highlights, and we're going to be all set, guys. We're going to be all set. So what you want to do is take out Tiny again, and in the horns around the face there were stripes. So you want to grab your darker color, or I'm going to grab blue with the smallest amount of black for these. And I'm just going to turn around and do these swoop lines on her horn. Okay? So you're just doing these swoop lines. So they're curved lines. They're curved lines. And when you get to the bend, you're going to make sure that they all come out like closer together right here. Whoop. Okay? So when you get to the bend, the one side of the curved line should be really close. Okay, so just make sure that when you do the lines around the curve, that you're doing them close. And then you can go back to spreading them out and just going down her horn accordingly. Do your stripes, okay? So we're adding our stripes to our horns, and I just grabbed some blue and some black. That's all I did. Whatever color you're doing, you just want to make sure this is a darker color, that's all. And then I'm going to go on this side and do this one. So these ones curve. They also curve. And when you get to where the bend is, you want to make sure the ones on this one side, they're all coming out from that bendy spot close together. Okay? So you want to make sure that the one side is really close together. See that? See these three right there? Close up. See how the one side's all coming out of the bend at the same spot? And on the other one, same thing. See the bend? See how all three stripes are coming out from like the same spot in the bend? That's what you want to make sure you do. Okay, guys? And then you could just have them come down. I did these the wrong way. That's okay. I just smushed them out. I did those the wrong way. I was arching upwards. I was arching these upwards and I wound up going arching those downwards for some reason. I don't know why. So I'll just make them a little thicker. I'm not too worried about it. No one's going to notice. And then with this dark paint, close up, earthquake. Oh no. Oh no, earthquake. Earthquake in the house. Earthquake. And I just tripped over Butters' bone. Okay, so I'm going to grab my black paint. And I didn't clean my brush, because black's just going to cover it. So I'm going to grab my black paint, and I'm holding this like a pencil. And I'm going to come into where my eyes are. And I'm going to do... Now go in between those circles. Go in between those circles. So I'm going to re-accentuate her eyes here. Give it a little flippy-do. So I'm going in between those circles though. Okay, so grab my black paint. Make sure you wipe off your brush so it's a nice thin point. Okay, and I'm just going in between these circles. So if you have to do the little triangle part, so I'm putting black in over here, re-accentuating the eye. Follow this around. Nice point right there. Grab my black paint and I'm going to come across the bottom. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So I'm going to come across the top with my black paint. And I'm just going to make sure I put the little triangles in between these circles here. That's all. So I'm going to do the little triangles in between these circles. Or if you want to, when the black dries, you can just paint those circles back in. It's up to you. Whatever you want to do. I just did the triangles, that's all. And then I'm going to accentuate the bottom one. And if you notice, I am covering the bottom of the little circle. That's okay. That's what sets it into the eye more. And I'm going to take my black, and there's going to be a swoop this way, swoop, and a swoop this way, swoop, for inside the eye. Then I'm going to wipe off my brush. I'm going to wipe off my brush, and I'm going to grab the smallest amount of blue. So whatever color will make it darker. So now I'm doing the darker color. So back at you're doing teal, you want to do a dark teal around the eye circle, okay? So you just want to do the darker color of whatever color you made your eyes. So if you made them green, you want to do a dark green. If you made them teal, you want to do a dark teal. If you made them yellow, you want to do a dark yellow. So you just want to do a darker circle around that. Okay? Great. And then we're going to go down to your egg. I'm going to grab my black paint. And I'm going to do my cracks in my egg. So make sure you have a nice thin point on your brush. If you have globs on your brush, you're going to get globs on your painting, right guys? So I'm just going to pull down like this. And then I'm going to go out at an angle. Bam. Nice and straight. Back in. Bam. At an angle. And I'm going to come down and just let that one go. Alright, so you can do your zigzags any way you want to. And then I'm going to come off of this line that I made, and I'm going to do like another zag off of it, like that. See? Bam. Just like that. Okay? And then I'm going to come over here on this part, and I'm going to zig out that way. We're zigging out. Thanks, Kelly. We're zigging out over here. We're zigzag-a-zooming all sorts of ways. Another little straight line. Come on down. Just do all these little weird lines at different angles. That's all. I'm going to wipe off my brush to get the globs off of it. I'm come in here. I'm going to go off of this one. I'm going to do a ziggy-zaggy-zoo. Right? That's all. Just do different zigzags. Make your cracks. Yep, just going to do ziggy-zaggy-zoos. Just little things. All right, Becca. Becca got a 10 out of 10 from her brother. All right. So, I'll give you a chance to catch up, Mustard, with all those little details I just showed you. And then I'm going to show you how to do the highlights. And we're going to be all done with Mommy Dragon. How about that, guys? Woo woo! You guys are awesome. What a great job you all did. Telling you. And I can't wait to see them. I can't wait. I can't wait to see your awesome dragons. It's going to be epic. Epic. Gonna be epic. Can't wait to see them. And don't forget, so next Tuesday, How To Tuesday. How To Tuesday is going to be animals. Nice, Kelly. You totally need to do this over the weekend. You totally need to do this. And Becca, you just post it to the event page, okay, sweetie? So we can all check it out. Kelly, you can totally do this. I have faith in you. You'll be fine. All right. And I definitely want to see Cinder. Cinder's with her glitterizing. Totally want to see that. So, I'm going to swirl tap dab my small brush. And I'm going to go into straight white paint. All right, awesome, Becca. Yeah, right on the event page. I made a spot for everybody. So, I am going to go right into my straight white paint. And we're going to add all these highlights. Okay? So, I'm taking my nice thin brush. And I'm going to turn around and right on the sharp teeth spikes here, down the one side. Swoop. And swoop. And a little piece right there because it's off the canvas. So you want to add those highlights there. I'll wipe off my brush. Grab some more white paint. Nice, Becca. Perfect. I'm going to grab some more white paint and down my horns. So I'm going to swoop a line there. I'm going to do a little space and another one. Swoop that in. Swoop that in. So, you guys are all amazing. I'm sure your dragons look amazing. And then I'm going to put another highlight in here. So, put these in. 1, 2, 3. Got those bad boys going on. And then on the horns, right? So I put one going up that way and back down. Shoop. So if that bend is a little wonky, when you put your white line in, you can totally accentuate it now. Even if the rest of it was a little, remember I messed up my stripes, but it doesn't matter. Once you put this white highlight on it, all of it disappears, guys. And it follows that bend. So if your shape was a little weird, it doesn't matter. It's all good. Lots of glories in the house, Magna. That's right. Oh, Cal, you're so welcome. Absolutely. So that's what, guys, you can go back in and schmooze all your details if you want to and fix up all your rock. I'm here just for the basics, guys. The rest is all you. The rest is all on you to be as creative as you want and make this your painting, your creativity. I'm just here to show you the basics. That's it. So I'm going to swoop this one around. So like I said, if you messed up that bend, don't worry about it because the white's going to cover it. I'm going to wipe off my brush. And now we need the life dots in the eyes, okay? So life dots is what give the eyes life. So close up. Close up. Hi, everybody. What y'all doing? I'm hiding my 5 head. It's glaring in the light here. Okay, so life dots in the eyes. So I'm going to put a dot here. Boom. Right there. And I'm going to put a dot here on the other side. Boom. Right there. And then I'm going to do a little swoop line. Ready? Swoop a little line in there. Just a little one. And then I'm going to swoop a little line in here. Swoop a little line in there. Follow the curve of your eyeball. And there you have your life dot. So that just makes the eyes completely come alive. And then we have little highlights on the nostrils. So put a highlight there. Boop. And a highlight there. Boop. And there you guys have it. You guys totally just painted Mama Dragon. You guys are so amazing. You did excellent. So, I just want to remind everybody it's completely free to watch. Free! Tips are appreciated, so I will share those links again. And remember guys, you send me a clip, hello, you send me a tip. I totally appreciate it. Thank you so much. Telling you, $1 goes a long way. And if you message me your address, you'll be getting 2 of those fancy little tiny brushes. So excited about that. And I just want to thank you all for joining me tonight, fam. Thank you so much. I love you all. And I want you to have fun and go create. All right? So you all warm my heart. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Mwah! I love you. Have a good night. Okay? There you go. Mama Dragon. You guys are amazing. My little sign. Bye, Becca. Can't wait to see it. Post it to the event. Bye, Cinder. Bye, my fellow goober. You warm my heart, Cinder. Have a great night. Give applesauce and cheesecake a squeeze for me. Sounds awesome, Becca. Thank you so much. And I just got to chime in for some support. So thank you so much for that. I didn't see who it was, but you rock. You rock. Bye, Kelly. Totally post your painting when you're done with your OCD. Okay, love? I want to see it. Yep, if they're quiet, that means they're into trouble, Cinder. Better go check on them. So How To Tuesday is going to be animals, and then we have our frogs. And I know my little boy's being good because he's right here. Say goodnight, Butters. Say goodnight. That's right. Stretch it out, buddy. Stretch it out. I know you were working so hard. You were working so hard, weren't you? Good night. Bye, Magna. Everybody say goodnight to the Butters. He's a good boy. Bye, Magna. Bye, sweetheart. Oh, good, Cinder. I'm glad they didn't get into any trouble. I'm glad they didn't make another mess for you. And anybody watching the replay, if you have any questions, just feel free to message me. Thank you so much. Right? He's being a good boy. That's right, Cal. And anybody sending support, you get 2 of these awesome little guys. They're really, really cool. So, don't forget to message me your address, alright guys? Okay, y'all, we're my heart fam. Have a great night. Good night, everybody. Mwah. Bye-bye.